The e-learning market is estimated to be worth more than $315 billion in 2021. And me personally, I have made tens of thousands of dollars selling knowledge online. How did I do it? By selling online courses. Let me show you how you can productise yourself and turn your knowledge into a digital asset that makes you money while you sleep. Now, productising yourself involves 3 steps. Number 1 is identifying your unique value proposition. Number 2 is creating a personal brand. And number 3, offering a valuable digital product. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, this must take a lot of time to do. And that's partly true if you don't do it the correct way. However, if you do it the right way, which I'm going to outline in this video, then you can have this up and running in like a week, and you can spend a little bit of time each week just making videos, and that will sell your digital product. But let me get into the details now in a second. So let's take it step by step. The first one is you need to identify your unique value proposition. You basically need to determine what makes you unique, your skills, your experiences, your knowledge. Let me give you an example. This morning I went to a barber shop, and the barber there was cutting his hair. And he said that this barber business is a great business. He charges about $29 for a haircut, and he has about 12 to 15 customers every day. He works about 6 days per week, making it about 300 haircuts per month. That comes out to about $8,700 in revenue. The thing about a barbershop is that it doesn't have many expenses. I mean, all you gotta do is just pay rent, and if you're the only person cutting hair, then you're basically just trading your time for money. However, the problem is that if you don't work, you're not making money. Now, the barber himself is great. He knows a lot about how to cut hair, how to get a job cutting hair, and also how to start your own barber shop. And so talking with him, I realized that this could be valuable for you because you might be in the same situation where you have the knowledge or the skills or the experience and you're really good at something. However, you're trading your time for money. And so in this video, I would like to show you how you can take that knowledge or experience or whatever it is, package it, and sell it online so that you are going to start making money while you sleep. So for the sake of this video, let's stick with that barber example and see how we can turn that into a profitable online business. All right, so now that you have identified that you are a great barber and that you can teach others how to cut hair, how to get a job, and how to start your own barber shop. Now, the next step is to identify the problems and the challenges that your target audience can have. So your target audience are people who want to become barbers and eventually open up their own barbershop. Now, think, what kind of problems and challenges could they have? Maybe the first and the most obvious problem is that they don't know how to cut hair. Now the second problem is, okay, now they've learned how to cut hair, but they don't know how to get a job. And it's really helpful for us to identify these problems and challenges because we are going to use that to create media to find our target audience. I'm going to explain this just in a second. Now, the last step in identifying your unique value proposition is to look at the market and find a gap where you can fit. And this really doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, you can just take your personal story and turn that into your unique value proposition. Now, I want you to not stress about this too much because identifying your unique value proposition is something that you develop over time. It's not something that you kind of come up with just, over a day and then that's it, you stick to it for the rest of your life. You kind of have an idea, you start working towards it, and as you work, you're going to understand better yourself. But an example could be that you come from an immigrant family, that you guys didn't have much money, and so you had to find a way to provide for your family. You taught yourself how to cut hair, you kind of got your way into the barber business, and then over time you have opened up your own barber shop, and that's your zero to hero story. And the best part is that this barber has years of experience, he has done thousands of haircuts, and so he can confidently say that he is an expert in this field. And the people who are just starting out would love to learn from him. And the best part is that this is applicable to anyone. You might think, well, I don't have the knowledge or the expertise, I'm not really good at anything. But the truth is that there is something that you had to overcome in the past. Maybe you had an exam and you didn't study at all and you had to find a way how to cram that information and pass that exam. Boom, you've just overcome a problem, and that solution to a problem is a potential product. Or maybe you're really good at playing a video game and there are other people who would love to learn from you. The possibilities are literally infinite. It all comes down to your creativity and figuring out how you can be valuable for other people. Once again, remember, don't get stressed and paralyzed by analysis. Just get started, have a rough idea, and then as you get along, you're going to get better at understanding yourself. All right, step number 2 is creating a personal brand. The most important step in this whole process, because this way you're going to be reaching people who are looking for what you have to offer. Because you can easily make a product right now, publish it online, but if you don't have anyone who is watching or listening or reading to your material, then you don't have an audience of people. And having an audience is one of the most important things to productizing yourself and selling your knowledge online. Now, if you listen to people, you're going to get a lot of different advice about starting a social media presence and doing Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and everything, right? And that can be really overwhelming. I mean, I don't do any of that myself. I only do YouTube. So as you can imagine, this is exactly what I'm going to preach to you. In my opinion, YouTube is by far the best traffic method online. And if you want to sell your knowledge online, I highly recommend you start a personal brand YouTube channel. You might have some fear about having yourself on camera and the whole world seeing you, but matter of fact, that's just your ego talking. And when you start, no one is going to care about you and no one is going to watch your videos. And matter of fact, if you want to sell your knowledge online and achieve financial freedom, then putting yourself out there on camera for the whole world to see is a fair price to pay. Now, I want to address a little misconception that most people have when starting a YouTube channel. And that is, it's going to take a lot of time. And that is true, of course, because no one knows who you are and no one cares about your content, so no one is really going to watch it. Unless you do search-based content. So what does search-based content mean? Well, it basically means that you create videos for topics that people are already looking for. Let's say, coming back to this barber example, that someone is looking for how to cut hair in a specific style. And when you search up that video, you see that there are a couple of videos that are showing it, but they're not that great, and you know that you can make a much better job explaining it and making an overall better video. So this is very important, and this took me 3 years to learn, so please pay attention because this can save you years of your life. Instead of making content saying, hey guys, this is the first day me vlogging, I have a couple of customers here, I'm gonna cut my hair, oh, we're having coffee. No one cares. No one is going to watch that. However, if you make a video specifically about what people are already looking for, then there's a very good chance that that video is going to rank and you are going to start getting views, watch time, subscribers, and eventually money. So what I propose is you start by making search-based videos. Simply research what people are already looking for on YouTube for your specific niche and make videos around that. Now, another very important thing when starting a personal brand YouTube channel is to collect emails and get people into a community. This is very important because you are going to start building an email list and you're going to start building a community of people who are interested in what you have to say. And this gives you an opportunity to communicate with them and build a relationship with these people. So when it comes to time for you to offer your product, you are going to have an audience of people ready to buy from you. And this brings me nicely to the third part of this whole process, which is offering a valuable product. Now, the first step in offering a valuable product is determining the format of the product that you would like to offer. Is it an ebook or is it an online course? Maybe it's coaching, group coaching. There's so many possibilities, but you need to figure out what's the best for you. Me personally, I love online courses. And the reason I love online courses is twofold. Number one, they have a high perceived value, meaning people are willing to pay a higher price for them. And second of all, there is no cost of replication. You make the product once and it can be sold over and over again. Whether you're traveling, sleeping, or whatever, people from all over the world, when they discover your content on your YouTube channel, they can click through to that description and they can buy your course. Now, once you determine the format of your product, the next step is to actually create that product. And you do that by addressing the problems and challenges of your target audience. So let's say, for example, that your product is going to teach people how to go from complete beginners to having their own barbershop. So the things that you can cover in that course are tremendous. You can first start off with the basics, how to cut hair, how to understand your customers' needs. Then you can go on how to get a job at a barbershop, how to develop relationship. Then you can start looking into, okay, what are the different company formations, how to actually go out and register a company, how to find a place to rent, where do you buy all the supplies, how much is going to cost you, and budgeting. So you can see that there's so much information, valuable information, that you can actually put into a course in an organized format. Sure, you can find all of that information online for free, but humans inherently want an information that is organized in a neat manner, step by step, and that is exactly where you create your value. Now, the third step in offering a valuable product is setting a price for your product. So how much are you going to sell your product for? Well, that's a really good question. And I found that the best way to think about it is in terms of value. So how much value are you providing to the customer? Now, the reason I don't say money per se and I say value, because value is not necessarily always determined by money. Sure, if you're selling a product saying, hey, I'm going to teach you how to make X amount of money in 12 months, for example, then that is exactly how much you should probably charge, right? However, if you say, hey, I'm going to teach you how to be more happy and more content, then that is a different type of value. And in that case, I recommend you look at the market and you look at existing offers and you see what are the different price points in that market and how much people are actually willing to pay for other similar offers. And remember, if you're not alone in the market, it's actually a good sign, because that means that there is demand for your niche. And so now, putting it all together, all you gotta do now is just make search-based videos on YouTube, mention in your video your course, and say that it's the first link down in the description. Here, let me show you an example of how it's done. For example, my business partner Ron and I, we have a YouTube Shorts channel where we've made 45 million views in 50 days, and the channel generated just over $1,800 in that period. So naturally, what we decided to do is we put together a course showing people how we did it. And so what I do now is I create videos about YouTube Shorts, and then I say, hey, if you would like to learn more about YouTube Shorts, I have put together a free training. It's the first link down in the description. And this is why I made this video, because while I was at the barbershop getting my haircut, I actually got a sale for the course. And I realized, hey, I'm not necessarily working right now, but people are still paying me for the work I did before. And for the barber, he only makes money when he's at work cutting people's hair. And that right there is the difference between having a job and building a business. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the most important thing is starting a personal brand YouTube channel. So if you would like to learn how to go from 0 to 45 million views with YouTube Shorts, then you can click the first link down in the description, or alternatively, you can click on this video, which is going to show you exactly how to get started with YouTube Shorts. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe.